Hey guys, good morning. Alright, as you've noticed, you've got a substitute today. I hope that you guys are very, very good for her. I'm watching you. Alright, we're going to start today's class by going over some vocabulary words that were in the small step stories the small step story that we've been reading. So we're going to look back at the words that were in chapter 3 and chapter 7. So let's look at these words. Alright, so these are the words that were in chapter 3. We had phlegm, mucus, bulbar polio, coaxed, iron lung, spasm, and nourishment. Those were those words that were in chapter 3. And you guys know how we do this every week. You're going to look at the picture and see if you can match it to which word would go with it. And I'm going to give Miss Lana a chance to pause the video in between, and you guys can talk about any of the ones that you think might go with this. So actually this first one goes with, I'm just going to tell you on this one, it goes with phlegm and mucus. They both kind of go with this one. You can see she's coughing and it's showing you the lungs, and it's showing you, yeah, that nasty phlegm and mucus that can get in those tubes in our lungs. So that one's phlegm and mucus. Miss Lana can pause it if there's anybody else that thinks they know any of these other words maybe that could go with it. Remember, you have to tell which word you think matches it and why you think it matches it. And please be serious, this is not a time for goofing off. So she can pause it now if she needs to. Okay, let's look at the next one. Oh, I bet this one's easy. Everybody go ahead and say it. What do you think it is? Yes, very good. Iron lung. Because, yeah, this is an iron lung machine. You can see she's in it. Just her head sticks out, and it helps her breathe. That's what an iron lung is, remember. It's that machine they put you in to help you breathe. If you have any other, you can raise your hand now. Miss Lana can pause it, and you can tell her what other words you think may match it. Alright, our next one. What do you think could go with this one? Yeah, I think coaxed would go with this one. It definitely looks like she's trying to talk him into an apple instead of this little treat that he's eating, whatever this is, I'm not sure. But she's trying to talk him into it. She's trying to persuade him. Because that's what coaxed means. It means that you talk somebody into something. You're trying to persuade them to do what you want them to do. So good. If you have any other ones, you can raise your hand now and Miss Lana will call on you. Okay, here's your next one. What do you think could go with her? Yeah, I think this one is supposed to be spasm. Because a spasm, remember, is when like the muscles in your body, they tighten up and then they loosen. They tighten up and they loosen. And it's painful when they tighten up like that. It hurts. So yeah, I think maybe she's having a spasm in her leg. It looks like her leg muscles are tightening up and it kind of hurts when it does that. So yeah, spasm. If anybody thinks they have another one, raise your hand. Miss Lana can call on you and you can tell her why. Alright, and this is our last one. This one's pretty easy, isn't it? Yes, I think it's nourishment. Yeah, because all these are good things for our body. They're good food to eat. And nourishment is just food or other substances that we take that help us grow and help us heal. It's good for our body. And this is all definitely good stuff that would be good nourishment. It's good for your body. So definitely nourishment. If you have another one, remember, raise your hand, we can pause the video, and you can talk about it. Alright, that was it for chapter 3. Let's look at the ones that were in chapter 7, because as you can see, chapter 7 did not have very many words either, so I kind of stuck chapter 3 and chapter 7 together. All right, and chapter 7 is where we left off last week. And you were supposed to read it last night. Hopefully you did. But we have the words jubilantly. Jubilantly. It's kind of hard to say. Heralded. Diagnosed. Respiratory. Excruciating. And gunny sack. Those were the words that were in chapter 7. So I know we haven't really had a chance to talk about any of these words. We talked about the ones in chapter 3. We hadn't really talked much about these ones in chapter 7 yet. So let's see if we can maybe kind of figure out what they mean. Remember, jubilantly means like very happy. Like when she yells in the chapter, "I can move my hand!" She was very happy about that. So if you're doing something jubilantly, it means you're very happy. Heralded. Heralded means you announced something. You told somebody something important. Like when Miss Hamilton announced that it's an early out day. Or she announces that a bus is going to run late. That's heralding. When you tell somebody something kind of important, you announce it, you're heralding. Sorry. All right, diagnosed. Diagnosed has been a word before. We know that's when you... the doctor kind of tells you what is the matter with you, what's causing your problem. The diagnosis is the cause of what's making you sick. Oh, respiratory. Polio doesn't normally affect your respiratory system, but if it makes your lung muscles paralyzed, it can affect your respiratory. COVID affects your respiratory. Does anybody think they know what respiratory means? Yes, respiratory means it has to do with your lungs. Yep, your lungs and breathing. Anything that has to do with lungs and breathing is respiratory. Oh, excruciating. Just a minute ago when that lady was having the muscle spasm, muscle spasms can be excruciating. Does anybody think they know what excruciating means? Yeah, very painful. So excruciating means very painful. And then gunny sack. At the end of the chapter, I remember she said she would gladly wear a gunny sack if she could just go back to school. She wouldn't even care what her clothes looked like. She'd wear a gunny sack. So a gunny sack is just like an old kind of rough bag. A lot of times potatoes kind of come in a gunny sack. So she would wear like one of those old bags as clothes because she didn't even care what her clothes looked like anymore. She just missed school so bad. All right, so if we look at this picture here, we can tell that yes, jubilantly is the word. She is very happy. Jubilantly. She is very happy about something. We don't know what, but she is jubilantly cheering or jubilantly happy there. If you think you know another word that could go with jubilantly, I'll give Miss Lana time that she can pause it and you guys can talk about any other words that might go with jubilantly. Okay, let's go to the next one. What word do you think would match this? It looks like an x-ray kind of your lungs and your spine I see back there. Yeah, this one's supposed to be respiratory because remember, respiratory means anything to do with your lungs and breathing. This is your respiratory system, your lungs. Very good. If you think you know something besides respiratory, you guys can pause it and talk about it. All right, what about this guy? Yeah, I think heralded, because it definitely looks like he is announcing something. He looks a little bit like the teacher in the book I'm reading, No Talking, or the principal where she has the bullhorn. Yeah, he is heralding something. He is talking, saying something important. So yeah, that's what herald means. It means you're announcing something important. If you think you know anything else besides herald, pause it and talk about it. All right, I bet this one's easy. Which word do you think matches that picture? Yeah, gunny sack, because that is a gunny sack. It's just a bag made out of really rough material. Like I said, a lot of times potatoes come in gunny sacks. Onions might come in gunny sacks. So yeah, this is just a gunny sack. I don't know why they call it that. They just do. If you think you know any other word that could go with this gunny sack. Pause the video and talk about it. All right, what about this one? Yeah, I think this one is diagnosed. Yeah, because it looks like the doctor has diagnosed her problem, right? She's figured out what's the matter with her and she's telling her. Because that's all diagnosed means. It means you figure out what's the matter with somebody. You figure out the cause. If you think you know any other word that could go with diagnosed, pause this video and talk about it. Okay. Whoa, what about this one? This one I bet's easy. Yeah, excruciating, because I told you excruciating means very painful. And it looks like his knee is excruciatingly painful right now. It's very painful. So yeah, whatever he's done is excruciating. It's hurting a lot. Very good. If you think you know something besides excruciating, you guys have a chance to pause it and you guys can talk about what other word could go with it. All right, that is the end. That's the end of our vocabulary words for chapters 3 and 7. You guys are now about to do a real quick worksheet to show me that you know these words and to practice them a little bit more. Good luck, and I will see you guys later. Bye.